shorter day for the Cowboys in practice inside the Ford Center today with a day off tomorrow. And we start the show with good news tonight on Inside Cowboys Training Camp, brought to you by Ford. I'm Brad Sham with Mickey Spagnola. And the NFL announced mid-afternoon today, Mick, that Drew Pearson is the senior finalist for the Pro Football Hall of Fame next year, 2021. Tom Flores, the former Raiders coach, is the coach finalist. And that should mean it's just a procedural vote before Drew finally gets what he has deserved for so long.
Boy, for Drew's sake, I certainly hope you're right. I don't think he could go through that again. Look, it's about time. As a matter of fact, it's long overdue. He belongs in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
So today, in a shorter practice day, because they have what Mike McCarthy calls a regeneration day tomorrow, day one of life without Gerald McCoy, who they never really had to begin with, but they sure were counting on him. And here's what McCarthy had to say about the two young players who will try to replace him, rookie Neville Gallimore and second-year man Tristan Hill.
Gallimore he's doing a nice job. This is where he's being asked to do a lot of things that are new for him, which is a normal progression for most college players. So particularly just the defense he played in at Oklahoma is just what we're asking him to do up front is a little different. So very hard working, very intuitive. Has a great look in his eye, but it's coming. Tristan, I really like what he's done. I mean, since the virtual meetings, was always looking for extra work, asked a lot of questions, and I've been very impressed. We haven't had a lot of work. We just only been in pads in one day. So, but I think he's off to a good start in training camp.
And you know what, Brad? I keep hearing that about Tristan Hill. And he's going out there working with the #1 defense. So, but they're moving Gallimore in there. So they're going to give these young guys a chance. And as McCarthy says, at some point you're going to need young guys on your roster to produce. And these guys are getting their chance now.
And next to them, the young guys have a returning veteran coming back from injury, a Cowboys stalwart for many years. Mickey will have the story on Tyrone Crawford when we come back on Inside Cowboys Training Camp, brought to you by Ford.
Inside Cowboys Training Camp, presented by Ford, is brought to you by AT&T. Sleep Number. The Sleep Number 360 smart bed helps everyone from parents to pros improve their performance through quality sleep. Only at a Sleep Number store. And by Ford. Visit your local Ford dealer. Ford is the best in Texas. This segment is brought to you by Sleep Number. The Sleep Number 360 smart bed helps everyone from parents to pros improve their performance through quality sleep. Only at a Sleep Number store.
Welcome back to Inside Cowboys Training Camp, brought to you by Ford. Inside the Ford Center today, as we talked about a moment ago, the youngster Hill, the second-year player, now lining up at the under tackle, the three technique, whatever they're calling it, in the Mike Nolan defense. But next to him in the four-man front, a stalwart veteran who's fought back from yet another injury. Mickey's got the story on former Cowboys captain Tyrone Crawford.
Sometimes you have to wonder how a guy like Cowboys defensive lineman Tyrone Crawford does it. In 8 seasons, he has missed an entire one after rupturing his Achilles tendon. Then there was the severe lateral ankle sprain costing him starts in the first 2 games of another season. And there were the hip injuries of last year costing him 12 games and resulting in surgery to repair both hips. But here he is, persevering through it all to start his 9th season.
I guess the way I would describe myself, I'm a Boise guy, so I just try and get after it. I try and go as hard as I can every play, and wherever I'm at, whatever I'm told to do, I try and get it done. And then I do my best to get it done, and I feel like I've done a really good job at performing my task or whatever was told for me to do. I do it. There's a reason, obviously I'm still here, so, I'm just high mortar, I guess you guys would call it. And I just love to be that type of guy. I would call myself a soldier, and I won't change.
On top of that, we've heard of a man for all seasons. Well, Crawford has been a man for all defensive line positions, both tackles and both ends. Again,
I go back to how it's been for me since I signed my contract. I signed my contract as a guy that, maybe moved around, is going to be moved around, and has to know, every position on the D-line, and, that's still my role. Obviously, they want me to know every position on the D-line, and that's what I do. I study to know every position, and I work at every position. So, wherever I'm needed, I go. For now, he's working at defensive tackle, but who knows just where he might end up.
And we could talk about these young guys, but don't count out the veteran being there on opening day.
Speaking of veterans, the Cowboys have probably the best veteran backup quarterback they've ever had. We're going to hear from Andy Dalton when we come back on Inside Cowboys Training Camp, brought to you by Ford.
This segment was brought to you by Sleep Number. The Sleep Number 360 smart bed helps everyone from parents to pros improve their performance through quality sleep. Only at a Sleep Number store.
Welcome back to Inside Cowboys Training Camp, brought to you by Ford. Brad Sham, Mickey Spagnola. Cowboys in training camp have a unique situation at the quarterback position. They've got a couple of young guys. They've got, of course, Dak Prescott starting, but they have a starting caliber backup quarterback in his first year, maybe his only year, in Dallas, in Andy Dalton, who talked to reporters today about what it's like after 9 years starting in Cincinnati to be a backup.
Yeah, this is definitely a transition for me. Starting the last 9 years of my career, and but for me, I'm excited about the opportunity of being here. Dak's been great, ever since I signed here. I feel like our relationship has just gotten better and better, and we've gotten to know each other really well, and it's been a fun working relationship. And so I've told him I'm here to help him and serve in any way that I can, and just kind of bring my experience to the quarterback room. And so I'm excited about the opportunities that we're going to have this year.
Dalton, of course, went to TCU, makes his offseason home in Dallas anyway. And I wonder if it hadn't been for the COVID pandemic, if he might have held out a little bit longer after being released by the Bengals to see if he could go somewhere and start.
I had several opportunities out there, and when looking at it, I think this was the best spot for me this year. To sign a one-year deal here in Dallas, to be a part of a good organization, a team that is very talented, and be around a great coach, and to be able to just stay at home. I think that all those factors kind of played into it, and I'm excited about it. I'm excited to be here, and excited that I get to stay here in Dallas, especially during a time like this with all the whole COVID situation going on.
So Brad, here's my PSA out there for everyone. If you want to hear the entire Andy Dalton interview, go to DallasCowboys.com, because I thought it was fantastic that a guy like this landed in the Cowboys' lap as a backup quarterback.
And if you haven't got time to do that before this time tomorrow, Mickey's going to bring you some of Andy Dalton's impressions of some of his new teammates and coaches. Day off from practice for the players tomorrow, but not for us. Mickey and I will be back same time tomorrow on Inside Cowboys Training Camp, brought to you by Ford.
Inside Cowboys Training Camp, presented by Ford, was brought to you by AT&T. Sleep Number, the Sleep Number 360 smart bed, helps everyone from parents to pros improve their performance through quality sleep. Only at a Sleep Number store. Ford. Visit your local Ford dealer. Ford is the best in Texas. And by the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.